We brush our teeth. We make our beds, hopefully. We do all these things in our daily practice. We go to the dentist. Why do we not check in on what matters most? I'm Christine Saxon, executive leadership coach of amazing people who courageously paddle their boats through life circumstances, who do so often with an awareness of their core values. What matters most is your core values. And you've probably heard me talk about this before. Here's an interesting take on it. First, I'm going to tell you that I recently launched a website that you can access from my website. So if you go to christinesaxon.ca, you can click on there, and I've compiled some free coaching resources for you. One of the things on there is a free online core values assessment. Go ahead, check out your core values, because our core values, what matters most to us, are right here every day. They're right here. They help us, they hinder us, they help us make decisions well. They hinder us if we get stuck in thinking about those decisions. If we think of our core values, these words that mean so much to us that we would fight for them, they sometimes get turned up, they sometimes get turned down. You'll read a little bit about this in that core values session, and if you know me, we've probably talked about this already. Core values are our inner compass. I work with amazing people, and like I mentioned, some of you who know me, who are watching this video, already know what your core values are. We've talked about them, we've dived deep, and you might even have them on your cell phone, on your wall, in your pocket, so to speak, to remind yourself, because when that amygdala hijack happens in our brain, it's often because our core values have been turned up or down, maybe feel like they've been trampled. A way to think about this is put the prefix over or under in front of them. I have acceptance as a core value, and if people are being accepting, I'm groovy. If not, I either become over acceptance oriented, like be nice, right? Like the acceptance police in a way, or I shrink, and I shrink away from the people because they're not up to my standard of acceptance. Core values are complex. Here's the neat thing. Here's the reason I'm doing this video. In the past week and a half, I've had 4 different clients be on a call with me, digging deep, figuring out what's going on for them, what's going on for themselves, what they're stuck about, really trying to explore, is it something that matters to me, a core value that's getting in the way of me figuring out how I want to feel instead? Is a new core value maybe popping up? Are my limiting thoughts of myself getting in the way, right? So we're exploring all kinds of things. And with these 4 people in the last week and a half, they all know their 5 core values. I had their values written in front of me, and we went through them and went, okay, how about your loyalty? How about your authenticity? How about your adventure? Which of these things is feeling compromised or off, or which is activated right now in this situation for you? And it helped to a certain extent. And then as I kept listening, and I listened for values, in each of these 4 circumstances, I said something like, what about justice or fairness? I'm really hearing that. Or I'm really noticing that you're using the word, I'm going to pick another one, graciousness, politeness. Or, boy, you're talking about accountability a lot today, aren't you? What's going on with that? So what had happened for these people is their 5 core values were not helping them to make sense of this particular situation and their particular reaction. Because here's how I consider it, and if you've done your core values sort before and figured out those words, those are the ones, right? I'd fight for them. The process of getting to figure out your 5 core values takes sorting and sifting and categorizing. And often people will get partway through and go, okay, Christine, I got 9. Can I have 9? And the reason I encourage people to come up with 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can hold them in one hand. It's more easy to remember them when you are in a reaction or struggling or stuck. What happened in these people's cases is by me listening And this is what coaches do. By me listening for what else was coming up, what words they were saying, what concepts were renting space for free in their thoughts, I'm able to then name them and reflect back to them. And so those 9, maybe that, someone sorted, they finally got down to their 5, but there were those other 4 that were, I like to say they're in the waiting room. Or if you draw concentric circles, maybe you have your 5 in the middle, there's probably some in that waiting room, that next concentric circle, that are there, ready, and they also can get triggered or activated or feel like they're being squished or feel like you're not respecting them yourself. So awareness overall of values can really help. Awareness so that you, rather than going, what's wrong? I'm just feeling this, or this is right and I'm right. And you can check yourself and go, hold on, am I speaking from one of my 5 core values or from those ones waiting in the waiting room? Or has an entirely different one popped up and I couldn't recognize it because it's not one that's in my vocabulary. And boy, is it important to me right now. Again, if you would like to, if you're saying core values, I want some of this then, go to www.christinesaxon.ca. There's no H in Christine, C-R-I. And you'll find on there a link you can go to where I link to these videos. I link to some other free resources. I have my book there. I'm telling you about this because you can take or retake the core values assessment for free. Happy paddling.